Budgeting and keeping track of your expenses sounds tedious, but actually it's not if you use the right tools. So today in this video, I want to share with you this simple template I use to budget and especially track my expenses. Using this template has helped me keep my spending on track and also save over 40% of our income, even at a time when our household net income was still $85,000. And that's because with this tracker, I know exactly where my money is going and how much left I have to spend. Right now, it's totally free for you guys, but soon I will be charging a few dollars for it, so grab it now. Just click on the link in the descriptions below and it will take you to this Google Sheet. Copy it over, and now you can use it. I'll walk you through step by step how to use this template, and once you get the hang of it, it will take you about 15 minutes per month. First, I'll show you how this budget template is set up and how you can modify it to suit your needs. Then I will show you how you can easily track your expenses in about 15 minutes each month. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I will try my best to answer as many as I can, especially in the first days of launching this video. So let's start. Let's start with setting up our budget first. Enter the year for your budget here. By the way, I've put comments throughout the sheet, and note that if you click on the check mark, it will be deleted, so don't do it if you still need them. There are three main parts to the budget. The first one is basic expenses, the second, special expenses, and the third category, savings and investing. Basic expenses are your basic living expenses like your rent or groceries that are relatively stable. So this is my actual budget. Under housing, I have mortgage, which is $2,644 per month. So when you input your number here for your monthly mortgage or rent, it will automatically calculate the yearly amount here. The green cells, by the way, are formulas, so don't type into these unless you want to intentionally change it. Hydro or electricity is $90 for me, property insurance $34, maintenance fee $317, property taxes about $135. Which brings my total housing expenses to $3,220. And you see on the right hand side, it automatically calculates the yearly total. Almost $40,000 just on housing. I know, yikes. Now if you think about it, it's a shame that you pay all these expenses and get nothing back. And wouldn't it be great if you could only put these thousands of dollars on your credit card and earn cash back and rewards? And you know what? The good news is that you actually can with this awesome service called Chexy. Chexy is an awesome service that lets you pay your rent, bills, and now even taxes with your credit card. You can earn thousands of dollars in rewards just by paying the bills you already have. And it's super easy. Just sign up with Chexy, tell them what you want to pay, rent, condo fees, car lease, utilities, parking, property taxes, and now even income taxes. Choose your payment method, Interact, pre-authorized debit or PAD, or bill payment. Enter your credit card and Chexy handles the rest. They charge your credit card on time and send the payment exactly where it needs to go. Now here's how you'll earn extra money. Let's say that your rent and your bills total $2,800 a month. If you're paying straight from your bank account, you'll earn next to nothing, aka you're leaving money on the table. With a 4% cashback card, even after Chexy's small fee, you'd get an extra $63 a month or $756 a year in cashback. And when you've reached your card's spending cap for recurring payments, simply switch to another cashback card. And it doesn't stop there. Got a $4,000 tax bill? Paying with Chexy with that same 4% cashback card could put another $90 in your pocket just for that one payment. It only takes seconds to sign up, so don't miss out on that extra cash. The link for signing up to Chexy is in the descriptions below. Thank you Chexy for sponsoring this video. And now back to the video. Next, we have the categories utilities for your phone bill, internet, and other subscriptions. Below that, insurance. This could be any additional life insurance or even pet insurance that you have. Next, groceries and food, something that honestly I have challenges sticking to. And that's why it's so important for me to track my expenses here. I've divided this up into three categories. Groceries, food, so edible things, for which my budget for a household of 2, in Toronto by the way, is $825. I've also added the category non-food, so just in case you want to separate the cost of your non-food items like kitchen towels, detergent, toothpaste, etc. I don't, and that's why I only have one number here. And lastly, dining, which is $425 for me. Now, this is just the budget so far, how much I plan to spend, and I will show you how to track your actual numbers later. Next, there's transportation. We mostly use the TTC, so that's about $100 per month for my husband and $55 for me because I work from home most of the time. Also a budget of $40 for Uber down here. And if you have a car, you can add your car related expenses down here as well. Everything from car payments, car insurance, gas, parking and maintenance. And here I put a note to include everything that's more routine, like car wash and regular maintenance. The next budget item are family expenses, and this will look very different for everyone. We give our parents some money, but don't want to disclose how much, so I left it blank. If you have kids, you can add kid-specific expenses here. And also, feel free to customize this sheet, by the way. If you don't have kids, you can change childcare to something else, or you can add an extra row if you want another budget category. Just make sure to check the formula afterwards. I also have a section for health expenses here and donations. And lastly, very important, if you have any debt you're trying to pay off, so not your mortgage but consumer debt, you can add your regular debt repayments here. After you filled in your budget, you can see the total in this green box here. So $4,780 would be our monthly budget and $57,363 our yearly budget. Now the next category is special expenses. These are more irregular expenses like a vacation that only happens once or twice a year, unfortunately. Buying new furniture or electronics. The reason why many people overspend is that they forget to include these special expenses in their budget, and it can amount to a lot. Last year, my special expenses were 23% of my total expenses. So by planning out these expenses in advance, you'll see where you'll have to make adjustments in your budget to make everything work. Now you have two options to set up your special expense budget. There's a simple method that would be just to estimate how much you'll spend in each category and type in directly these numbers into the light green cells in special expenses. For example, under clothing in October, you input $200, but I prefer to use a more detailed method. In this tab over here, SE, which stands for Special Expense Details, I go to the column Clothing, then scroll down to October and input, for example, winter jacket, $200. Do that for every other special expense you can think of. For example, under travel in the month of June, input $800. But what if you don't know exactly when and how much you'll spend? No problem at all. Don't worry about the precise month. The important thing is the total amount, as later on you can still spread out your budget. For example, if you want to budget $450 a year to go to the hair salon, in the beauty section, simply input $75 in April and then for each month for the next 5 months. And as the months roll by and you are clear about when you're going to spend how much, you can just break up that amount and split it to other months. This is actually a hilarious example for me because, believe it or not, so far in my 6 years in Canada almost, I've never been to the hair salon once. Now, if we go back to the main tab, Budget, you'll see that the items we budgeted in the Special Expense tab automatically link up to the totals here under Plan Budget. You can see the total for each budget item, for example, travel here totaling $800, or by month, for example, October, totaling $200. Now down here is the total for special expenses, which is $1,450 so far. Right under that, the total for basic expenses and special expenses, which is $58,813 so far. Now to the next and last section of the budget, my favorite part, which is savings and investments. One of the reasons that people don't save any money is that they fail to pay themselves first. This basically means that each month you budget how much of your paycheck you want to save and invest. So here, for example, we budget to invest at least $6,000 each month. And remember, this is just an example. Even if you just budget $200 per month as your savings and $200 in investments, it will go a long way because of the power of compounding. But of course, your money can only compound if you invested. If you haven't started yet, check out Wealthsimple. That's the first investment platform I used in Canada. The great thing is that they don't charge any account fees or trading fees, which makes it great for beginners. And you can also earn a $25 bonus if you use my referral code in the descriptions down below. Lastly, down here is your grand total, your total budget. And it goes without saying that this should be less than or equal your net income. Now that was part 1. Budgeting. But budgeting just means that we've planned how much we're going to spend. It doesn't mean anything if we don't at least try to stick to it. So that's where the tracking comes in. It will take some time getting used to it, but once you get the hang of it, it will only take you about 15 minutes per month to track. And that's what my husband and I do together. At the end of each month, we sit together with a cup of coffee and track our spending. That keeps us on top of our budget. So let's go back to the top of the budget sheet. Tracking your expenses is super easy with this template. For example, here for housing expenses, I'll likely stick to the budget because these costs are more or less fixed. So assuming I paid everything up to the month of April, I fill out all the amounts. Now here's an important note. Make sure you fill in the current month in this box here. So 4 for the month of April. And here's why. If you scroll to the end of the sheet, you'll see a few more columns to help you plan. First, the actual column, which is the total amount of everything you spent in that budget item. For example, $10,576 on mortgage or rent. Then there's also a percentage actual, 33% here, which means that up to the month of April, you spend 33% of your yearly budget. And rest simply means how much of your total yearly budget you have left to spend. Then also a very important marker here is rest per month. So here, because we stuck to the budget, which is $2,644 per month, you see that under rest per month, it shows that we still have the exact same budget per month, $2,644 per month to spend. But in a moment, I'll show you an example where that might be different. Let's go to groceries and food, for example, which we know can fluctuate quite a lot, at least for me. So there's our budget, and here's how we can track it. Go to the tab Basic Expenses Detail. Basically, just go to the current month, let's say now is April, and then enter all of your expenses for groceries. Now do the same for dining out. And non-groceries, again, this is optional. You can use this or you can put everything under groceries, in which case the amount of this would be 0. The way I do it is this. We spend everything using mostly credit cards, sometimes debit, and very rarely cash, and that makes it very easy. One by one, we log into each credit card account that we have, go through the expenses, and then enter each item into the budget sheet. Because we mostly use my 4% Scotia cashback card for groceries, that will mostly be my card. So here, after inputting all the expenses, our total is $860 for groceries in the month of April, and $429 for dining out. See that the amounts for the previous months were slightly different. Now, if you go back to the budget tab, you'll see that the cells are automatically populated. Now scroll to the last column and see that for groceries per month, we now have $788 left. Remember, our original budget was $825. But since we've overspent in some of these months, we have to spend less now. $788 if we want to stick on budget. And it worked exactly the same for the other budget item. So while in the actual row, you can see how much you spend in each budget category, down here in this row, you can see how much you spend in total each month. In this cell here, you can see your total spending for the whole basic expense category. For the category special expenses, again, you have two options. Option number 1, ignore the details and just fill out your numbers in the actual section here. Option number 2, for more details, go to the Special Expenses Detail tab. I prefer this because I can actually input my detailed expenses. Later on, when I review my budget, I know exactly where my money went. Let's go to Beauty/Skincare. There we had planned $500 for a full year of hair salon visits. Let's say it's April now and you went to the hair salon once, you actually stayed on budget and you spent only $67.50 there. So I input $67.50, and here you can see the Excel sheet automatically calculates what you have left. There's $7.50 left for the month for haircuts. What you can do then is either leave it there, isn't it a great feeling to be under budget once in a while, or you can carry forward the budget. If you want to do that, take that $7.50 and just add the amount to the next month. So continue to log your special expenses for the whole year. In the main tab Budget, you can see how much you spent per month on special expenses. In April here, just $67.50, rounded up to $68. And also how much you spent on all expenses, so basic plus special expenses. And now on to our last category, savings and investments. Pretty easy. Basically input your savings and your investments that you make each month here. So this means not the value of your investments, but your deposits. So how much you deposited, how much money you put into your investment accounts. And I know to some of you this might look like a lot of investments, but you'll get there one day if you continue to increase your income, very important, and reduce your expenses. Lastly, the grand total, and this is oftentimes very insightful or nerve-wracking, but exciting. In this row, you'll see how much you spend in each month. You can also add your income or projected income in case you're a freelancer in these boxes down here, so you can compare where you're at. Are you overspending, or do you still have room to spend? In which case you can save and invest more money, or alternatively you can allocate it to other important things that will improve your financial future, like investing into learning, buying books, courses, and so on. Now I know this was a very short explanation which covered just the basics. I really breezed through it, so let me know in the comments below if you made it so far in this video and if it was useful. Also, if you would be interested if I ever made an extended full full, let's say 30 to 60 minute version of this to show you in more detail how budgeting and tracking your expenses works. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.